Happy Earth Day, everyone. My name is Allison Erasmus, and I'm the assistant to the director for Webster Arts. And I am sitting here today on Zoom with Jahna Kahrhoff, who is a board member of Webster Arts. She is also the founder of Urban Sewing. We're talking to Jahna today is because it's Earth Day, and artists around the world consider how their art practice might advocate for climate action and environmental restoration. Where did your interest start with sewing bags from these reclaimed, recycled materials?
It kind of happened a little accidentally. My mom asked me to sew a bag for her, and I did, and I really enjoyed sewing it. And at the same time, going through antique malls, not looking for anything in particular, I came across some grain sacks that looked really interesting, had some interesting graphics, and I thought, well, I can make a bag out of this. But also around the same time, this was maybe 6 or 7 years ago, I started reading about a wave or a trend in sewing called zero waste sewing, where artists, both fashion designers and textile artists, were using either found materials or trying to use every scrap of material that they were using. And that was to combat the millions of tons of textiles, especially clothing, that end up in landfills every year. I find my textiles and materials mostly at antique malls, but sometimes online. I've always really liked going to antique malls and seeing all the old things that people don't want anymore. And I find that there's a lot of different fabrics that people are trying to get rid of, but have a lot of history, either for people personally. These were objects that they used in their homes, such as tablecloths that were embroidered by somebody's grandmother or aunt, or quilts, but also grain sacks and seed sacks and bank sacks. And all of these different textiles had some kind of personal meaning to people. Earth Day is a really great time to remember that everything that we use in our art or in our daily lives has to go somewhere. It's not waste until you waste it. So if you can find a way to use something that's already out there in the world, then that's one less thing that's going to go into a landfill or to the bottom of the ocean. People can find me on Facebook or Instagram at Urban Sewing STL. You can also find me on Etsy at Urban Sewing. And I also have my own website, which is www.urbansewing.com.